Connecticut's population is aging, and with that comes a higher risk of elder abuse and exploitation. But since elder abuse can take many different forms, it's important to know the signs and what you can do if you or someone you know is being targeted. Joining us now is Brian Austin, the Executive Assistant State's Attorney, and Gary McNamara, the Police Chief in Fairfield. Welcome both of you here to CT Style. Brian, what are some of the common types of fraud that we're seeing with elder people?
Elder abuse takes many forms, Ryan. It can be financial, it can be neglect, it could be actual physical abuse. So you've got to keep your eyes open for all those types.
Yeah, and this is one thing, me personally talking to my grandparents, I know they get a lot of phone calls and they're not really sure who it is, and it's kind of scary whether it's your parents or it's your grandparents, and it's something that we need to protect. So what are some of the most common types, things that you're seeing
Well, I
out
think
there?
oftentimes when they think of elderly abuse, they think of scams, but it really goes deeper than that. So what we're talking about sometimes is the exploitation or mismanagement of funds, kind of playing on someone's confusion with real estate transactions, pension issues, investment fraud. So there are a lot of them beyond just the traditional scams or the physical abuse that is a whole nother layer of issues that the growing elderly population have to face, and we all are frankly responsible for understanding it and communicating that.
Absolutely, and there's two perspectives here. There's from one perspective, from the actual elder, what should they personally be doing to make sure that they're not being taken advantage of in these situations, Brian?
Just be careful of the relationships that you're entering into. You want to be particularly mindful if people are coming into your home, if you're seeing items that are missing or cash or other issues like that. Bring them to the attention of someone you trust.
Or the police in that case, also very important. How about for the children or grandchildren of the elderly? That's so important in many cases. What should they be doing?
Well, I think first of all we have to understand it's underreported, that the elderly are very fearful of reporting such things. Well, number one, they might not understand it. Number two is they may be fearful that if they report that abuse, they may be put in another place, be forced to move. So it's important that children and grandchildren understand it and look for those signs of it. First of all, they have to communicate it. They have to look to their parents and grandparents, what their relationships are. They have to understand that it could be internal, meaning that it could be other family members that are exploiting it. So you want to make sure that you have maybe two different family members handling checking accounts. And watch for signs where your parents or grandparents are a little secretive, or they're withdrawn, or they're feeling depressed, or some other issues. Could be another thing, but you want to always be in tune and always have those discussions with them so that they understand it, because it could sneak up on them and they won't even know that it happened.
Now, how about during the holiday season? Do you see an increase in this?
You certainly can. With more people being in the house, that makes people particularly vulnerable. One of the things is that often you hear that people say this is a civil matter, and it's usually not. It can involve criminal activity, and that's where it's best to contact the local police or the state police if you see something like this happening.
And then what's the process there? So grandson or son or daughter says, hey mom, what's going on? And they're not quite comfortable, but they say, hey, we really need to alert the police. Is it calling 911 or going to the police department? What's
I think
the best
911
process
for
there?
an emergency in progress. So other than that, it's the regular number. Before you even get to the police, establish relationships with the banks that you work with, that your parents work with. So have those relationships. This is really a year-round problem. It might peak during the season, but it's really year-round. There are people out there that their entire job is to take advantage of the elderly based upon their trustworthiness. They believe that elderly believe that people are trusting, and they are trusting back. They have a nest egg, generally they've saved up, they're working on a pension. Every day there are people that are looking to take advantage of that. So establish the relationship with the banks, establish the relationship with other family members, and then call the police if you have an inkling or any suspicion that there might be something going on.
It's horrible to think that anybody would even think about doing that, but both of you, thank you so much for all the great work that you're doing, and we have some wonderful resources that you can check out. All you have to do to learn a little bit more about elder abuse and how you can report it, visit the Coalition for Elder Justice in Connecticut at www.elderjusticect.org, and for free fraud prevention resources and to sign up for scam alerts, all you got to do is visit AARP Fraud Watch Network online at aarp.org/Fraud Watch Network. Fellas, thank you both for being here today on CT Style. We appreciate it. As we said, all the great work that you're doing. And coming up, hey, we know this guy, Chef Silvio Supa.